Hello. Ooh, my hit. Look at that. All right. Let's see. I think I've forgotten how to do this. Hello. It's the first thing in the morning live stream. Back after a week off and already feeling very, very rusty. But this week, I do have coffee. I did make that mistake again. I bought a lot of coffee, so I'll always have some Monday morning because that was rough. Um, I need. I'm dependent on this stuff, and I need my beautiful mug too. Look at that. It's not really in focus, but you see what it is. Ninja Turtles. Um, I'm gonna trust that I'm coming through loud and clear because it all looks good on my end. But let me know if anything's wrong. Otherwise, I'm gonna kick things off. And I do forget how to do this. All right, there we go. All right. First thing in the morning live stream. It's December 1st. We made it to December. I don't know about my voice is so talent. Good. That's what I want it to be. So, yeah, November feels like it went by really quickly, but I feel like a lot happened. It was good. It was good November. So I'm back after a week off, and fourth, because this is the fourth live stream. I try to shy away from making puns, but this one just came naturally, so I went with it. Oh, hold on a sec. I updated the slideshow. Let me do. There's important, very important information on this slide that you need to see. Turts. I like how I'm just. It sounds like I randomly just shouted turts, but it's because Aaron posted it in the chat, and I read things on quite a delay. So assume you're referring to my mug, and you aren't also just randomly yelling turts. All right. First thing in the morning live stream, really good pun. And wow, this is off center, but you see it. This is the next couple weeks. No stream again next week. I will be in Montreal seeing Mac DeMarco. And then the following week, we'll be back with at least one more live stream until the new year. There might be some holiday surprise live streams. I'm not sure. It's gonna be a busy holiday season with family and friends and parties and all that. So I'll play it by ear, and then I'll keep everyone posted. I mean, I'll post in my stories and all that if I'm going to be doing a live stream. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that, I guess. All right, I'll start with my classic disclaimer. Although, don't really need it this week, but just to cover our bases, I'll read it anyway. I'm just some guy. If you learn something from this live stream, cool. I'm not claiming to have the answers. I'm going to tell you what I'm interested in, what I've been trying. It might work for you. It might not. I don't know if it even works for me. Okay, we're going to start up top with a little productivity tip. If you have many important things to do, you can procrastinate from one by doing the other. I call it procrastivity or productination. I haven't settled on a term, but this is something I feel like really came into play for me this week. That when I maybe don't feel like doing one thing, I can just fall into something else that I also have to do. So I'm always doing something I have to do. On that note, I didn't make a slideshow. I had an off week, and I'm getting on with it. So I was off last week, and now I'm back. But this week has been an off week. I had big plans. I had goals. I achieved some, but not all. I felt sleepy in that November way. I was going to make a slideshow about iterative drawing exercises, but I didn't have time. And that's because last week was a very busy week. I went to Toronto. See, you can see the little tower there. It's a very unique view of the tower. Proof that I was in Toronto. My trip was very Nelvana coded. I might do a little show and tell after this, but a little glimpse of some of these Nelvana gifts I received last week. Got this Nelvana plate. I also got a Nelvana mug. Here, hold on. I'm going to get that. Because it's beautiful. I have all my mugs in the basement because I don't do my dishes. So now, beautiful. We got turts and we got bears. Polar bears. Also got a limited special edition Nelvana snow globe. And right, yes, the plate is actually a saucer for the mug. That's true. And the snow globe, it's so rare and so classic and so vintage that the batteries had corroded inside of it. So I don't know what magical tune it plays yet, but hopefully it still works when I get some fresh batteries for it. And then, as you can see there on the right, the classic, A Cosmic Christmas. And that's the storytelling vinyl record. So it's got the full story of Cosmic Christmas and the songs. Very good. I haven't opened that yet. That's going to be a Christmas treat. Also, not only did I get sweet merch, I got one-of-a-kind animation production art. And this is just skimming the surface here. So you can see some stuff from, I believe that's from Wildcats on the left. And this, of course, is Strawberry Shortcake. Classic cell from that cartoon. And then a little bit of Cadillacs and dinosaurs to round it out on the end. A lot of great stuff. Maybe I'll show more of that later. A lot of this stuff was obtained by Tabitha at the Nelvana farewell party. And amazingly, this stuff was just there for people to take, whatever they could carry. So I was the benefactor of a lot of that. As if it wasn't Nelvana enough, I met Clive Smith, the Clive Smith of one of the three founders of Nelvana and the director of Rock and Rule, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and definitely in my I'd say top 5 animated movies, and just such an important movie to me, and really a important piece of Canadian animation history. This movie was made by Nelvana, I believe, at the height of their creative ambitions, on the tail of multiple successes with TV specials. They, in the late 70s, began development on a animated feature, which started as Drats, which Clive Smith showed a lot of cool stuff from that period of development when it was a different story with a different title, and it was sort of directed at a younger audience before they retooled it for an older audience, and found out a lot of stuff. Lots of stuff I think I'd heard before, but definitely a lot of stuff that was new to me and everyone else there, which, as you can imagine, the people there were all, Rock and Roll super fans, but he really dug out some stuff from his house that no one had ever seen before, so that was really cool to see. And apparently they were developing a kids feature, which when they show the early development art, it definitely looks like it's already on its way to becoming a more Bakshi level, at least like teenage story. It's still got a little bit of grunge to it, but apparently they were told by LA distributors and film people that they were never going to be able to compete with Disney in the kids market. So they were advised to redevelop it for a teen audience. And who knows if it would have been more successful if they had made a kids feature. But regardless of the movie's success, and it was not successful at the time, it's definitely the definition of a cult classic. It really is this time capsule of when I feel like Canadian animation was at this point where there was so much skill and just creative ambition, and it's just in this movie, it's just it's almost a very scattered, youthful, energetic expression of that, and it's an imperfect movie, but it's perfect in that way, that it really just feels like it captures this energy, and it doesn't feel like they made this film really without a script to start with. And a lot of what Clive was saying about the film was that they would never be allowed to make it the way they did. And it was very, very indie, the way they made it, very indie sensibilities, which results in it's this very special artifact. It's a kind of movie that just doesn't get made on this level. If you're going to see this kind of movie, it's going to be a very indie type thing. I think the closest thing to this sort of vibe was, oh shoot, I'm forgetting the name of it. But there was a Canadian punk rock sort of animated feature that sort of had this vibe. And then there's more recently, Boys Go to Jupiter, which is a very different kind of film, but it has that same level of just indie creative ambition, but in a feature scale. But this was a very unique time in Canadian animation, and it's such a fun movie. This seeing it with the director, seeing it with Michael Hirsch and Robin Budd, who's one of the animators on it, and just a room full of people who like love this and know this and love this movie as much as I do, was like really, really special. And it was like a concert, you know, like I find like some of my best concert memories are when I see some weird band I loved in high school and I know all the words, but I'm with a bunch of people who also know all the words, and there's something very lovely and very affirming about that. And yeah, so it was a great night. Just to give you a sort of impression of the level of stuff that he dug up to show us. There's of course tons of production art and concept art and stuff like that, but there's even like X sheets and like breakdowns for the scheduling of how they're going to record the music, and then stuff like this where it's the notes for how the layout team should be organizing their stuff in folders. So when I love something like this is the level of detail I want to see about it. So I snapped a ton of pictures. Yeah, I just think it's so interesting to see this kind of stuff. I also saw another movie, a new movie, Little Amelie, or The Character of Rain, and it was very beautiful, very sincere and lovely film. I definitely recommend seeking it out. It's one of the shortlisted nominees for the Academy Award this year, and it's rightfully so. I just feel like the one thing that stood out to me about this movie was it had so many perfectly observed little moments in a way that I feel is very common in anime, where they'll like have close-ups of processes and of food. One very popular one where they'll show the process of cooking food or eating food. And the film takes place I think it was a French production, but the film takes place in Japan, so that's very apropos. And there were just I put that twice. There's so many. There's 100 perfectly observed little moments. So yeah, there's just even things about how like the light catches on something, or like on the rim of a jar or something, like just these little touches, but it was never overbearing. It always felt like what was on screen was the perfect, tastefully placed amount to convey. It wasn't like fussy detail. It was like really putting you in the moment. And the color choices really assisted with that. You can get a bit of a hint from this picture, but just throughout the colors they would choose for the sky and water and stuff, they were not always like literal choices. They were really evocative in a way that communicated like the atmosphere and temperature, time of day. And it's just it's a lovely little story about a coming of age story through the eyes of a 2 to 3 year old little girl, which is difficult to do because it's definitely not like a preschool movie. It's definitely not. It's appropriate for families, but it's not for kids. And it's so to tell that story in a way that doesn't feel it's childlike without being childish, and it's entertaining and enjoyable for all audiences. And I think that in and of itself is a challenge that they pull off incredibly in this movie. So definitely recommend it. Here's some other stuff I saw. So they now have like pet cat cafes or puppy cafes. Why not combine them? So they have ones with dogs and cats living together. So keep an eye on that. I'm wondering how that's gonna go. I could see a lot of fun mishaps. I mean, that'd be a great setting for a movie, I think, where you could have the talking dogs and cats living in a cafe. So that's a free idea. You can steal that. I also saw this. This was on the ground in Toronto. It was on the sidewalk. and I believe it's a mouth covering for when you want to give someone CPR, but you don't know them very well. And I guess someone used it and threw it away, or they didn't need it, and they threw it on the ground and just went straight mouth to mouth. I also saw this interesting cloud on my way to Toronto. I just thought that it had a fun little hairdo at the top. What is like? I feel like it's like it looks like a little elf, a little cartoon elf's hair, like a little weep. I can't. There's like a specific reference. Like I feel like there's these little alien guys from Ninja Turtles, the Neutrinos or something. Like one of them has it's like an exaggerated 50s hairdo. So yeah, that was cool. I also had 3 hamburgers, not the same time, 3 different places, different times, and my ranking for the hamburgers, number 1, Bar Hop. Bar Hop had the best hamburger. Rudy's is very good. I had the Baby Crudy, which has fried onions on it. It was also good. And then I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's either Bar Q or Bark, but a barbecue place on Roncesvalles had another burger there. I don't know what was going on with me this week. I had like a burger itch that I just couldn't scratch. I mean, look, I'm a burger guy. I like literally behind me, well, my head's covering it, but is a piece of art I made with a little astronaut living on a burger world. So, but usually I don't have 3 within the span of a weekend. But yeah, so Bark is rounding out the end of this list. Not that it was bad. I had a little side of mac and cheese that was really good, but just couldn't compete with Rudy's and definitely couldn't compete with Bar Hop. So 3 burgers, check. Also, the main activity that I was there for was recording, and I did lots of recording. Did some recording with my friend Barnaby, getting to do some recording for an upcoming animation project that maybe you'll be hearing more about soon, hopefully. And then recorded with Tabitha. Here you can see on the right, us here at the Toronto Public Library, doing some wraparound recording for, well, I'll tell you in a sec, but we had fun. And then at the end of my Toronto trip, I had a 9-hour bus ride home, courtesy of Rider Express. And quick story time about that, because it was supposed to be a 4.5 hour bus ride, but in Trenton, I believe, the en route, Pat is asking, he's like, is this a PowerPoint about the Toronto trip? No, I didn't have time to make a slideshow this week, so I'm just talking about my trip. This is my 9 hour. You got here just in time to hear the story of my 9-hour bus ride home from Toronto. So in Trenton, the driver pulled over at an unscheduled stop, came over the loudspeaker and said, "Excuse me a minute," in a very low, mumbly voice. Got off the bus, came back. I don't know, 20 minutes later, it felt like. Came back on the loudspeaker and said, "Yes, I'm very sick. I have food poisoning. I've thrown up 9 or 7 times today. Please be patient with me." And then proceeded to get back onto the highway after telling us he had food poisoning. So that was a little nerve-wracking. And then we made it to Kingston for the scheduled stop, and he came on the loudspeaker again to say this is a 15-minute stop in Kingston, and that would be the last we ever heard from him. because 15 minutes went by, 20, 30, 45, getting close to an hour before I go to look into what's going on. Uh, and look at because when you get to the front of the bus, the driver's seat is a little further down. I kind of peeked over and I didn't see him there. So I asked the guy at the front of the bus in the front seat if he knows what's going on. And he said, "Oh yeah, I gave him electrolytes. He's very sick." And I thought, okay. So then I sort of peek down a little further and I see the driver is sitting in the driver's seat, but he's fully folded over, head down in the steering wheel, seemingly completely unconscious, which isn't a good sign and not the number one quality you look for in a bus driver. But I also wanted to get off the bus to, like, I don't know, get a snack or something at the gas station. And the guy was saying, "Oh, you need to press the little green button." So I went to press it, and the bus driver sort of woke up and he said, "I'm very sick, but someone's coming from Ottawa to replace me." Which that's almost 2 hours from Kingston. So I knew we were in for a bit of a wait at that point. One thing I found weird is everyone was just sitting on the bus. Actually, oh, I think I have a knock at the door. 1 second. Sorry to leave you in suspense at the climax of this story. That would be very cool if it was one of you at the door, or the bus driver. Yeah, it's the bus driver. He doesn't like me telling this story, so as soon as I started telling the story, he raced over here. He's feeling a lot better now, by the way. So anyway, one thing I just found surprising about this was that everyone on the bus was just very calmly sitting through this. No one was like doing that thing where they start murmuring to each other to plan some sort of mutiny or talking about how unfair or shitty this situation is. The only person who spoke up was finally someone said, "Did anyone see where the driver went?" Just a girl spoke up and said that, just to anyone who would answer. No one answered. Like, I guess everyone was either just quietly enduring this or falling asleep or something. But then I waited a couple of seconds, and once I realized no one else was going to answer, I said, "The driver is on the bus, by the way," which I think a lot of people didn't realize. And I told them, "There's a driver coming from Ottawa to replace him. We're going to be here for a while." And we were there for about almost 2 hours. And then Ottawa bus driver to the rescue, got us there at 2:30 a.m. So not going to blame my off week on that, but definitely was expecting to get home a little earlier and, start my Tuesday hitting the ground running. And not surprisingly, that didn't happen. So, yeah, bit of an off week after that. Here are my tips for an off week. And it's funny because I was just talking about this to someone while I was in Toronto about when you schedule stuff, when you have big plans, and then you don't hit the levels you were aiming for. And I think it's just go easy on yourself. Recognize that you're having an off week. Own it. Lean back a little bit. Take naps. If you like naps, I like naps. Take little naps throughout the day. Take walks, even better. And I think there's still ways you can kind of salvage an off week by focusing on smaller tasks that you can get done, and offloading things that can wait. Because getting something done is better than nothing, right? So it's easy to kind of go, the week is a total loss. Just burn it all, and then kind of try to make up for it next week. But you can usually salvage little bits of progress. So there are things I accomplished last week. I animated one scene from Joel's short, Baby Daddy, which I've been working on. I did the easiest one, so there you go. Achievable goals. I said, well, I'll get one done, and I'll start with the easiest one. And I got started on the next one, but, finishing one gave me the sense that the week wasn't a total loss for effort. I also made a lot of music. So talking about procrastinating by doing something else productive, I rediscovered that, because maybe I was like, I don't really want to jump into anything just yet. I'll play around with some music first. And I discovered that, rediscovered, because I used to do this a lot when I was working freelance a couple years ago, that I love starting my day with like a little bit of music, daily music practice. And my favorite way to practice, music, both in both senses of the word, is just to make music. So I think that's the best way to practice something, is just to keep doing it. I made a lot of music, and if you were here early enough, you might have heard some of it in the waiting room. And also, getting back to what Tabitha and I were recording at the library, I finished editing the first 2 episodes of a new podcast I'm doing with Tab. Here's a little plug for it, a little sneak preview at the thumbnail art of the Most Fun Podcast with Tab and Spence, coming very soon. And you'll be able to check that out by following us at Most Fun Studio. So head over there to stay updated. You'll be hearing that sooner than later. So not too bad for an off week. And hey, it seems I actually did make a slideshow. Tricked ya. All right, so how do I broadcast claps on the internet? I think you can hit the little emoticon. You know what? Send me some, Pat. Send me a few little party blasters. I don't know what you call those things. What are those party poppers? If you hit the little heart icon, I'll wait for it. So yeah, that was my off week, and I'm back on now. Even though I totally forgot that I scheduled some house maintenance today. That's what the door knocking was about. Other than that, I'm fully back on schedule, fully locked in to have an on week. And next week you won't hear about that because it'll be an off week, but in the way that I'll be off from streaming. I'll be off listening to Mac DeMarco, which I'm very excited about. Haven't seen him in years, since Blues Fest, which is around the time of his second album or something. So he's done a lot since then. All right, so yeah, that's the stream for today. We're gonna hop into a draw pile. So I will, you'll get a second chance to hear some of that music now. Actually, I'll play some of the stuff I've been tinkering with this week while I get the draw pile set up, and I will post the link in the chat so that you can all join and we can all draw together for the next hour. All right, so I will start getting that set up, and I will see you on the other side. know if that's balanced right. It's too loud for me. Oh no, there's liquid coming out of my pencil. Okay, I'm very quiet now. Let me know if it's... I just adjusted the volume. Let me know if that helps. I'm also not pointed towards the mic anymore, so maybe here I'll just move it in a little bit. In a perfect world, or with an ideal setup, I'd have the mic sort of craned above me so it'd capture my voice the same no matter what. A little better? Yeah, I'm just not talking into the mic like I was before. I'm kind of off here. Maybe I could reposition it. Just have it over here while I'm drawing. Anyway, the important part right now is that you can see what I draw and draw along with me, which it seems like you can. Got an art frog and a PP in the draw pile. We're doing it now. It's all happening. Oh, you didn't update? I didn't update what? My draw pile? Is there an update? I was unaware. I guess not. What do the new updates do? Are you not able to draw in draw pile? Oh. Yeah, no, I haven't updated it recently. Are you not able to draw in the if I'm hosting in an old version? Okay. Well, let me know. I will look into updating the new version. Draw pile. Okay, that's cool. Looks like you're both able to draw. So there's new features. lot of new stuff. Oh wow, yeah. We gotta have to look through this later. Right, but it says it's all backwards compatible. Oh wow, yeah, it looks very different. Or maybe that's just the layout that looks different. I don't know if either of you have used it much, but maybe you could tell me if any of these new changes, like which ones you actually notice when you're using it. Lasso. Oh nice, there's a lasso fill. That's great. That'll use a lot when that is a big part of how I draw in digital software. I'll kind of make, almost like cutting shapes out of construction paper, I'll just make a big lasso shape and then just fill it. And that's how I block out shapes a lot of the time, so I'll definitely use that. You just updated now, okay. Yeah, a lot of this stuff seems kind of basic functionality stuff, like larger brushes, larger canvases. You can color code the layers, which those kind of things I never really use personally. Those blend modes, again, the reason I like Drawpile is for its simplicity, so I'm usually just using very basic brushes, and well, I'm almost exclusively using just a sort of pixely brush. Selection action bar. There's new stuff with the animation timeline, which again I've never really used. Curious to see. I've used the animation stuff before. Just when I was using Drawpile to do cleanup on a lot of my, if you can believe it, to do cleanup on a lot of my animation. So sometimes I'd use the animation tool just to like make sure it was all looking, my cleanup was all looking clean. That it was like the drawings were flowing into each other. But I wasn't actually, I'd already technically already animated it, so it'd be interesting to see what the workflow is for actually starting an animation in Drawpile. What's this? Binary transform. Oh, this is great. This is actually a really big quality of life change for me. If I understand what they're saying, it's because currently when you transform one of my drawings, if you do like a drawing with the hard-edged brush. Yeah, if you take this guy and transform him, it sort of adds this, whatever you call it, aliasing, I guess is the term for it. These sort of grayish pixels. So kind of kills the hard pixel edge look that I like. Okay, I'm so out of sorts with my hotkeys this morning for some reason. They really changed a lot of stuff. It seems like they really just went through everyone's little Christmas list, wish list of what the changes they want, and kind of did all the greatest hits. That's cool. I'll have to check it out. And it seems like they did it without. It doesn't seem like they really did it in a way that kind of affects the basic functionality of it. It's cool. I like this football that says soccer. Very good. That would actually be a good t-shirt. To have a football. Wow. Just that on a t-shirt. I think people would buy that. All the profits would go to the Pat Parody Foundation, of course. Why is it feeling so weird? Did I draw? Oh yeah, I must have drawn on the surface with the same color. Yeah, I must have drawn some grayish blue squiggles at some point. Okay. I realize why I'm messing up with my hotkeys so much. It's because I forget that in Drawpile you can't just like hold down a hotkey and let it go, and then you're back to the tool you were just using. You need to press it again. I wonder if they change that. I don't think any other software does that way. That's kind of fun here. Oh my god. I've really been enjoying doing more sketchy feathered lines lately. Feel frees me up. Takes kind of the pressure off of doing perfect line work. By the way, right now we're listening to, again, I don't know how well you can hear any of the music, but we are listening to, in the background here, some music that me and my buddy Dougal has been making lately. It's been really fun. At our weekly jam sessions. How do you flip the canvas again? I'm pretty sure, and I hope that was only for me. That'd be very disorienting if you could do that for other people in the draw pile. am very ill. This is a pretty accurate representation of what he looks like. Even I don't think he was giving a thumbs up, but everything else, it's like you were there. So wild, though, to just come over the loudspeaker, tell everyone on the bus that you're driving that you've thrown up 7 times today, and that you're going to continue driving a bus full of people on the highway. Wild decision-making process. I mean, seriously, just don't tell us. Like, if you're gonna shit yourself off the road and take us all with you, at least let it be a surprise. Don't make us dread it as well. And then the funny thing is, when he was gonna resolve it, when he was gonna get he finally got a replacement driver from Ottawa, he didn't even announce it. I had to go to the front of the bus to find out. Anyway, it's cheap. The bus is very cheap. It's like less than $40 for a bus ride to Toronto, which is kind of hard to argue with, so I will take the occasional driver with food poisoning, if that's what it takes. redraw stuff from my sketchbook. I'm just gonna wing it. Oh, there we go. perhaps later in the story. Is he gonna be face down in the steering wheel? No love for the Hawks? What are the Hawks? Oh, for the hockey, I got it. Right. Clever. I like these colors.
Let's try that again.
Again, Aaron, like you were there. 100% accuracy. isn't that frustrating? You have a sneeze, and it just doesn't snooze. What? No. What's going on here? Am I in a different layer? Alright. Draw pilot is betraying me. I don't understand why. Okay, so it's not just me that Drop Al's picking on. It just feels that way sometimes. Alright, we're gonna draw one more guy. We'll go to 10 o'clock because I started a bit late today. And I like drawing. I want to keep drawing. Yeah. Best elf.
That sounded cool.
Yeah, you already did complete your masterpiece, Aaron. At this point, you can just coast. You've done amazing things in this draw pile. You can just lean back, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yeah, if you press the hotkey and then press it again, it goes back to your last tool. I'm just used to, I use Clip Studio Paint. I think it works this way in Photoshop too, is if you're using the brush and you want to switch to color picker, you can just hold the hotkey, use the color picker, and release, and it'll just go back to brush. And so I keep trying to do that, but you need to press it and press it again in raw file. And I think like that's what's constantly tripping me up. Well, one of the things constantly tripping me up. Colors it considers the same. It's pretty wild. Tolerance, is that what you have to change? Okay, there we go. I need a way less tolerant fill bucket. It's the paradox of tolerance. Too much tolerance is intolerable. I just did it again. I can't stop. Will somebody stop me from doing it? Please. Dr. Teeth, 88.95. I'm a big fan, Dr. Teeth. Big fan. Dr. Teeth. Golden teeth and golden tones, welcome to my presence. I gotta get some golden teeth so I can say that. Don't seize on the tolerance thing too much. I didn't mean, don't read into it, man. It's not a life philosophy. I'm just trying to fill the air of a live stream. I'm not expressing any views. I don't have views, man. I just draw, man. I am just a guy. Do not hold me to the things I say out loud, for they are not my views. I do not believe anything I say, so don't hold me to it. Take a couple more shots for stories. For my stories. Effects on the Instagram stuff. These are cool. I know all the cool little effects on there. Oh well. Before I go, I'm going to show a few cool things I got. I'm going to go full screen mode for this. All right, let's see what we got. So I mentioned earlier, these are all real animation cells from, hold it, the best way to not get a reflection here. These are from different productions done at Nelvana. Not sure what this one's from. I think it might be Wildcats. Pretty nifty. These are cool because, like, I found a lot of times when you look for old animation cells, a lot of them are just weird little pieces. But to get these like full character shots, it's really cool. So this one I really heard a notification. I think everything's still normal. These two are kind of stuck together. But this I like because it's like two frames close together. I think they might be one after another. Any notifications from Drawpile? What's going on? Okay. These are two of the villains from Strawberry Shortcake. Let's cool just to have these two that you can flip between. It was yeah, frame 25 and 26. Pie Man, is that his name? Is that the character's name? Let's see what else we got. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that's easier to find with animation cells and stuff. It's like just the underlay, so it's like you don't have their heads, but still fun. The background's kind of neat. These are all the original backgrounds too, by the way. It's actually like paint on cardboard here, on this sort of like thicker paper. Anyway. This one's pretty sweet, just because, you know, full standing pose of an iconic character. Strawberry shortcake. I don't know what. I wonder if does anyone know what this is from? I don't know what this is from. With this little guy dancing off in the background, and it's fun. You can see the other side of the cells. Yeah, I got a bunch of cool stuff. I just love that they all come with these hand-painted backgrounds too. So cool. Oh, I love this one. So this is from, I guess are these from the same shot? I wonder if these guys are supposed to be in the background of this shot. I'm not sure, but I love tiny guys. Not staying in focus, but I just love that because, you know, obviously with digital characters, you draw them full detail and just shrink them down. But back then you had to draw them at lesser detail. It's another great pose. Great cell from, hold on. Let me see if I can keep it in focus if I hold up the whole background. Does that work better? No. Anyway, you get the idea. Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Gluck and Mookie from Gluck and Mookie the Spooky Spookies. Right, man, wow, I forgot about that show. I also love seeing this stuff where it's just like the arcs, the characters, the little paths of action and stuff. Super neat. This one's cool. I think this is like a revision from, I guess, like a Korean studio. So it's just like a note about a hand drawing. Just these. This is just someone working out a mouth shape. Or it should go like this because the peg bars are on the top. Working out a mouth shape for this guy. This mouthless man. And it even comes with all the mouths. So plausibly I could reanimate these scenes that I have the folders for. I have all the information I need. I have this little exposure sheet. Yeah, this folder, this is a lot of stuff in this folder for a guy just lying down, moving his mouth. A lot of paper where they were yet another drawing of his mouth. Oh, and the pillow. This is so interesting that they just draw it right up to, like it's like an inverse silhouette from where his body was. I don't know, I guess they chose to just put it all on one cell. Because they have this pillow separate. Maybe he moves a little bit or something. Who knows? But yeah, I love this stuff. So cool. This was really cool to get all the stuff at once. I don't know. It's the. You'd think that the pillow would just be an underlay, right? And then you could just draw the whole pillow, and then you could just stack it up underneath the guy. So yeah, the only reason you'd draw it up to the line is if it was overlaid with the character. So yeah, I don't know. They were working with different tools back then. Cool. All right. I like how this little draw pile turned out. That was fun. All right. So yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We'll wrap it up for this week. Like I said, no stream next week, but I will be back on the 15th for possibly the last one until the new year. Maybe the paint opacity doesn't work as well stacked. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe when you shoot it like that, it could look weird, like you would see it. But I don't know. Maybe it would darken too much or something. Yeah. Who knows? I'll have to pour over the folder a little more to get the answers. All right. Well, thanks everyone who showed up this week, and yeah, I'll see you real soon. All right. Thank you. Goodbye.